Welcome you again to the Business Mathematics. I am Damayanti. So far, you have covered 8 topics in your content, and we'll start today topic 9. This is sets and their applications. We'll see first what are the learning outcomes. After completing this session, you should be able to identify and understand different sets of building notations, key terms, symbols of sets, and terminology of sets. And also construct Venn diagrams for given relational data, and interpret Venn diagrams and set notation and explain their meaning. I think you can remember in my first lecture, I used the word sets in several times. So the concept of sets underlies every branch of modern mathematics, such as business mathematics, business statistics, probability, and related areas. In this lesson, we will give our attention on key terms and terminology, and also symbols of the set, and also symbols of the sets. As the key terms, I am going to explain you about set notation, membership in a set, and different type of sets, and operation on sets, and interpret Venn diagrams. Further, I will explain you as the key terms: universal set, proper set, subsets, infinite sets, finite sets, equal sets, disjoint sets, null set or empty set, union, intersection, Venn diagrams, and complement. Then what are the symbols we are using here? Symbols for universal set and symbols for belonging to an element and does not belongs to, and proper set and subset, and some other symbols. In this slide, you can see 5 symbols that we are used to describe sets. First one, sigma or U, that is describe universal set. Second one, used for describe the element, that is epsilon. Third one also, third symbol also used to describe not belongs to or not an element of. And fourth one, describe proper set. And fifth symbol we use to describe subset. Through this slide also, you can further understand the symbols of sets. There are 5 here. First one, describe about intersection. Second one, for the union. Third symbol, there are 2 here, pi and empty set, that is describe empty set. And D, describe about real numbers. R, the symbol R used for real numbers. And fifth one, N is describe natural numbers in set. Before start the key terms of sets, I need to say a few words about the number system. Whole numbers such as 1, 2, 3 are called positive integers. These are the numbers most frequently used in counting. And their negative counterparts -1, -2, -3 are called negative integers. In this figure, it has listed all the number sets arranged in relationship to one another. If we read from bottom to top, we can find a classificatory scheme in which the set of real numbers is broken down into its component and subcomponent number set. Therefore, this can be used as a summary of the structure of the real number system. Therefore, to describe the concept of set, we already employed the word set for several times in previous mathematics lessons. What is a set? We can simply say a set is a collection of distinct objects. These objects may be a group of numbers, group of members, or something else. The objects in a set is called the element of the set. Can you write down some examples? One example. Another one. I will say set of all multiples of 3 between 1 and 20. Set of all multiples of 3 between 1 and 20. Another one. Positive integers less than 15. In the set notation, you have given another 2 examples here. We describe people as such citizens registered to vote in Southern Province. V is a set. V is described in the people as such citizens registered to vote in Southern Province in Sri Lanka. Another one. A is a set. A is describing a variable x such that x greater than 8. That means all real numbers greater than 8. Now we'll see what are the ways of writing a set. One is enumeration, the other one is description. And also we can use Venn diagrams to describe a set. There are some examples for enumeration. S is a set. S equal within braces 2, 3, 4. Is representing the set of 3 numbers. Another example is S is a set that is equal A, B, C, that is representing of first 3 letters of the English alphabet. Can you see? There are 2 examples here. S is equal to 3, 4. representing the set of 3 numbers. Again, S equal ABC, representing the set of 3 letters of the English alphabet. The second way of describing a set is description. You can see here 2 sets. One is I equal all possible integers. That is giving x as such. X is a positive integer. J, the set of all real numbers greater than 2 less than 5. Symbolically, J equal x as such, 2 greater than x less than 5. C, infinite sets. I equal all possible integers. We know what are all possible integers. That is equal 1, 2, 3, so on up to infinite. Again, next example, J equal the set of all real numbers greater than 2, less than 5. That is J. These 2 are examples for infinite sets. Here it is explaining finite set. Finite sets are always denumerable or countable. That means their elements can be counted one by one. But in infinite set, that may be either countable or non-countable. I explained you that infinite set may be either countable or uncountable. What is countable and uncountable? There are 2 examples here. Set A and set B. A is uncountable because A equal 1, 2, 3, so on up to infinite. No limit there. That is going up to infinity. But in B, B is countable. That is representing all even numbers less than 10. 2, 4, 6, 8. How we identify membership in a set? That is indicated by the symbol epsilon, a variant of the Greek letter epsilon described for element. Epsilon is an element. In my example, S equal 2, 3, 4. Then 2 is an element of S, 3 is an element of S, 4 is an element of S. In here, 8 is not an element of S. 9 is not an element of S. Next subtopic is this lesson is relationship between sets. Here we talking about equal sets, subset of a set and disjoint set. We'll see what are equal sets. Here there are 2 sets. S1 equal within curly brackets 2, 7, A, F, and S2 equal 2, 9, 7, F. How many elements here? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. In S1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 7, F. In S2, 2, 9, 7, F. That is also comprised with 4 elements. So, we can see same elements here. So we can say that S1 equal S2. This is one example for equal sets. Subset of a set. There are two sets. S equal 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. T equal 3, 7. T is a subset of S. We use two symbols to describe a subset. One is contain in, the other one is includes. So we may write T is contained in S or T includes S. Again, T is contained in S or T includes S. Remember that you can get any pair or triple or quadruple of these elements. Example, you can get any pair 1, 5, 7, 9 or 3, 5. Any triple 1, 3, 9 or 3, 5, 7. Likewise, all its 5 elements can be considered as one of its own subset. Again, all its 5 elements also can be considered as one of its own subsets. Not only that, we can get largest possible subset of S, namely S itself. Not only that, we can get largest possible subset of S itself. At the other extreme, we can get the smallest possible subset of S. Null sets. Null set contain no elements. That is unique. Such a set is called empty set as well. There are two symbols to describe null sets. What are disjoint sets? Two sets may have no elements in common at all. They are called disjoint sets. See the example given you. A equals set of all positive integers and B equals set of all negative integers. A equals set of all positive integers and B equals set of all negative integers. A and B are disjoint sets. No common elements because of no common elements. Proper set. If the subset does not contain all the elements of another set, then the first set is said to be the proper subset of the second set. You can see in the example, if the subset does not contain all the elements of another set, then the first set is said to be the proper subset of the second set. Universal set and subsets. The universal set describes the set of all possible elements. In my example, A equal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and B equal 2, 3, 2. B is a subset of A. The notation we have used here, B is a subset of A. If S equal 1, 2, 3, list of all the subset of S, are mentioned here. Null set 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. How many subsets? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 subsets. We can mention 8 subsets. Now we'll move to the operations on sets. How we do mathematical operations? Normally when we add, subtract, multiply, divide or take the square root of some numbers, we are performing mathematical operations, isn't it? But sets are different form numbers. But we can perform mathematical operations on them as well. In here we will be discuss 3 principal operations of sets involving union, intersections and complement of sets. Here is union of sets. A is a set and B is a set. Elements of A is 3, 5, 7. Elements of B is 2, 3, 4, 8. Then we can write down A union B equal 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. We can write down union of sets 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. Intersection. Elements belonging to both A and B. In previous example, we found union of sets. Union of sets giving us elements belonging to A or B or to both A and B. That is symbolize A union B. But in here, elements belonging to both A and B symbolize by A intersection B. We can use same examples to realize the concept. A equal 3, 5, 7 and B equal 2, 3, 4, 8. Here the common element is 3. That means A intersection B equal 3. We can use Venn diagrams to describe sets as well. In my example, if S equal to 7AF, we can take separate figure to represent these elements as the Venn diagram. In a Venn diagram, I have mentioned all the elements in this circle 2A, 7F. That is in a circle that is called a Venn diagram. See the universal set. Symbol for the universal set and a Venn diagram. A rectangle for Venn diagram. That is describing Venn diagram for universal set. This slide describes set operations with universal set and with empty set. Actually, this is this can be used as set operations. If there is set called A intersection with empty set, then A intersection with empty set equal empty set. Again in second, A union empty set, A union pi equal gives us A, same set. In third, you can see here A intersection with A complement, that is also giving us empty set. as a result of that operation. In third section, A union A complement gives us universal set. Fifth one, complement of universal set gives us empty set, and also complement of null set gives us universal set. They are very important when we are doing set operation with pi and set operations with empty set and universal set. In Venn diagrams, the universal set is represented by a rectangular region. You can see here rectangular region and the symbol for the universal set. If we want to describe subset of the universal set, subset of the universal set as described represented by a circular region within the universal set. When there are one subset, here we have one subset only, it is represented in the universal set by using a circle. Laws of set operations, cumulative law, A union B equal B union A and A intersection B equal B intersection A. Associative law, A union B union C equal A union B union C, and A intersection B intersection C equal A intersection B intersection C. Under the distributive law, A intersection B union C equal A intersection B union A intersection B, and A union B intersection C equal A union B intersection A union C. We can do some exercise on laws of set operations when we are doing tutorials. Before wind up the session, I would like to give you some exercise on Venn diagrams. Please see below and find the regions of the following sets separately by using Venn diagrams of the following 7 sums. Thank you very much. We'll meet with a new topic next day. Have a nice day.